they've just done a whole bunch of stuff. And what I think happened when they busted those buildings and they dug that foundation is they allowed for any trapped entities within that space to spread out, because things have increased, like pestilence, vermin, mice in everybody's homes, cockroaches like crazy, all kinds of stuff.
Wow. So
I think that they have let loose the beast, so to speak.
Yeah.
In doing so, absolutely. Because I haven't had anything like spiritual visitations or attacks or anything happen to me personally in years. And any activity that's been in or around my house has actually slowed down since I got the doves and stuff, the white doves. I believe that they're some kind of spiritual protection for one reason or another.
Yeah, but they're very cleansing also.
Yeah, but about 3 weeks ago, I was just sleeping and I felt like somebody was watching me, and I actually heard my mother's voice, like she was talking to me. My mother's still alive, so I don't know, who would be doing that. And so it woke me up, and I actually saw something at the foot of my bed, and I was like, no, that's very strange. I bet you that's one of the creatures from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is now. Wow.
Yeah, so now you have all the information.
Wow. Okay. So they've literally opened up a Pandora's box of hornets, right? Or vermin. What's going on? Is the developer from your country, or is they from outside the country?
Yeah, he's from the country. Yeah.
From the country.
He's a super villain. He just does whatever he wants, and he has been empowered by corrupt political forces to do the things that he doesn't. So he feels like he can violate all the rules because he has money, and he'll just pay them off.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of payoffs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm actually looking at and remote viewing that property, and I'll tell you what, it's nauseating. Wow. All right, I think we can do some cleanup. So if you're open to that, we can. I've never done this on air before like this. There's a lot there. There's actually a negative vortex now that they have created down there. And so
I'll tell you something else really weird that's happened too, that I can tell that there's negative energy going on. I usually trim the trees and stuff every couple of months or whatever. But since they've been doing that activity over there, it's been so difficult to keep the yard clean. Like you have to sweep the yard every day, and then you wake up and it's like somebody just threw dirt all over the yard. All the trees are shedding like leaves.
It's affecting entire ecosystems. Yeah. We're gonna bring in a few different species to help us, but it's negatively impacting the Devic Kingdom. The Devic Kingdom is the fairies, the sprites, and those types of beings that utilize the energies that we provide, that basically human emotions that we provide them. They feed off of this. They're second dimensional creatures. And they're out of balance. When the Devic Kingdom is out of balance, Sasquatch and those things are also second dimensional beings. They can move into our third dimension. Sometimes we can see them physically, and then they go back into their second dimension. But when the energies afforded to them are out of balance, they become out of balance. And this is where earth sicknesses start to happen. So the Devers are really wonderful, and they're responsible for so much of the goodness of this planet. But as we're poisoning ourselves, we poison them also. And so bringing them in to help heal them will be also beneficial. Is this I'm going to say it's like a large-ish plot of land, this building? Mm-hmm. Okay, because I'm seeing it as large, almost like a rectangle going in, but kind of wide also. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Would you like a picture? I can send that to you.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Or you want to put it? Oh, you probably can't put it on the screen.
I can't put it because it's not on my computer.
Yeah, that's okay.
But
So while you're doing that, I'll keep talking. So what we're dealing with, I think, here is a bunch of predecessor energy. So when I remote view a problem, for example, this is a problem, we're going to look through stacks of time. And what I mean by that is that time is not linear. If it flowed in a straight line, that would just make life so easy, right? But it has ebbs and flows and ups and downs. So as I'm going through this, think of like rings on a tree. Every year the tree is alive, it grows a new ring. And so I'm just kind of looking through those rings on a tree, and we're just looking for disturbances and fractions and things that we can help heal and clear. I remember working on a piece of property. It was quite large. I think it was about 20 acres or so in the Southwest. And it started out with Navajo Indians becoming sickened. And then it went into three or four times down into 1980s car accidents to this. Once that land was cleared, everything in the home quieted down. And what you're experiencing right now, and probably all of your neighbors, how aware they are of it or not is another issue. You're experiencing these energies and entities being released. And my first rule when I work with somebody, and this is especially true when I talk to people who practice Reiki, never litter the ether, right? Reiki practitioners will pull gunk off of people and whoosh. Well, now it's like, just throwing sludge or slime on your floor. Don't do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, literally visualize it going into a hazmat bag or handing it off to the angels or whatever it is. So they've opened something up. And I think that this is a tipping point because of the slave trade and because of the ships coming in and taking advantage of the native people. It's just a boiling point right now. So if we can clear this properly, it'll be fascinating to see how everything settles in.
Mm-hmm. So I've sent you some pictures that you can see the land, you can see a little bit of the beach and stuff like that. You can get a better picture in your mind.
All right, they're coming. I'm assuming, was it text message or WhatsApp?
Yeah, Facebook Messenger.
Facebook Messenger, I'll really grab it. And so there's a lot of it that there's so much that we don't know, right? So much that we don't see, but there's all these explanations, etc. That, that's exactly, a small strip of land. So I'm just going to explain what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like a strip of land, you're right, about 20 feet or so into the ocean. And then where the fence is, that's where they're taking down the building, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And is this that's the new thing they're building? Wow.
Yeah, so you can see where they've excavated the swimming pool.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That is, I'm stunned that they let this happen because you're also, and we're all kids, right? So we remember the time when we were kids and go to the beach and we dig a really deep hole and the water comes in. What happens, right? It shifts the whole hole. So it's the same concept.
Yeah.
All right. So let's clean some stuff up. All right. We're going to do a basically kind of a guided meditation. Mm-hmm. And I want everybody to know that while I and we are doing this, I have many, many layers of protection. The reason is, the sand coming in at you, the dust.
Just wiping my eyes off because if you can see, they're getting a little bit puffy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dust, yeah.
That is insane. I mean, my gosh, that is like in the United States, that would be such a lawsuit.
I know.
Wow. So while we're doing this, I have many layers of protection that I don't necessarily talk about. And we're going to create some containment fields, all right, along the way.
Right.
And we're going to do this over the water. So I want in your mind's eye to you and I are standing on that beach.
Okay.
And you and I and we're going to face the sea, okay, for right now. And we're doing a physical form of remote viewing right now, which is going to go into an etheric form of remote viewing. Remote viewing means that we can project our consciousness to a different time, place, and location. And so I can remote view in the physical and in the ether. Some people are only in the ether. Most psychics are in the ether, which is the spiritual realms. And some people remote view in the physical earth plane. And think about our government systems they have remote viewers. All of them do. Not just the US, not just Russia, but they all do. So, all right, you and I are on this beach. Mm-hmm. We're facing the sea. We're going to go inside of a tetrahedron, a 4-sided pyramid. And I'm doing some elements to this pyramid to keep it strong and safe. And we are not leaving the space, and we're not having anybody come into the space, okay?
Okay.
Over the water, I'm going to have you and I are going to create a very giant, large golden circle, like a golden ring. All right. I want to go like 500 meters big. Okay.
Okay.
Normally it's not this big, but I think we're dealing with predecessor energies. Inside there, we're going to place many tables of warm comfort foods, hot bread, warm tea, native foods. We're going to bring in some golden healing blankets. And they're telling me we're going to have a separate table that is full of, it's a child-sized picnic table full of cupcakes with just sprinkles, like a party atmosphere, okay?
Okay.
All right. I'm going to say this message out loud, and I want you to say it in your mind's eye, and anybody listening can do the same.
Okay.
Our intention is on this piece of land. I do not want people to mess around with this. This can be really dangerous. So I really caution people to try to do this on their own. This is 20 years in the making for me, okay? It's all about spiritual safety. Here's the message. You say it in your mind's eye. I say it out loud to anybody who is cold, lost, or hungry. No matter how you lived, no matter when you lived, no matter how you died, you need to go into that circle right now. There's no guilt. There's no shame. There's no blame. There's just warm food and warm blankets, but you have to go in right now. And the reason why I add the no guilt, shame, and blame is because those are low frequency triggers that prevent most people from crossing over. So we're eliminating those barriers. To anyone who was in an accident, died in war, died of starvation, illness, you need to go into that circle right now. And we're just going to stand back and observe. And I'm going to ask you, what are you picking up?
I'm seeing it.
And you and I are going to compare notes, okay?
And pretty much from
tell me what you're seeing. Give us a little bit of a description.
You put forward that invitation, I started seeing these, looks like somebody cut up a t-shirt, like a white t-shirt, or t-shirts of different colors, just going into that thing. Just like a limp cloth, a really big cloth that's just been ripped to shreds. That's what it looks like. Yeah.
And soul fragments. When we die a traumatic death, a piece of our soul breaks off. So think of it this way. We're being chased in a dark street, and the perpetrator grabs us by the jacket or by the hair or skin. They don't capture us, but they take a piece of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those would be like soul fragments, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm sure I
Does
just
it
saw
feel
something that looks like a fog go through that circle.
like that would be soul fragments? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. And we're just going to keep collecting them. And do you feel like there's still stuff going in?
Yeah, there's a lot of them going through there now.
Yeah, this is freedom for them. Do you feel like they're all human or could they be something else?
I want to say they're mostly human.
Yeah, I feel like they're mostly human too. This is just the first layer. We're just going to send out that message again to anybody who's cold, lost, or hungry. Now is your opportunity. There's plenty of food. There's plenty of blankets, but you must come right now.
I'm pretty sure I just saw something that looked like a little girl, actually, a human little girl.
You know, let's see if we can focus in on her for a moment. I'm going to ask some questions. I want you to listen for the answers, and then we just compare notes. If I get something different than you, don't assume I'm right, you're wrong. We just work through the problem together, okay?
Gotcha.
All right, let's focus in on that little girl. About how old do you feel like she might be?
7, maybe?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. I'm getting 6 to 7. All right. And do you get an idea of her skin color?
Dark brown is how it looks to me.
Okay. Do you get an idea of what she might be wearing?
Looks like some kind of a dress, maybe.
Okay. Do you get an idea of what era it might be from? Like, does it feel like it's traditional dress? Does it feel like it's 1960s, present
1960s.
day?
You actually hit nail on the head with that one.
Okay. All right. I didn't mean to say that part because I don't like to lead the witness, but
Yeah. And I was just about to say, it looks like kind of like 1960s. It's like a light pink to my perception, but it's fluctuating. So it could be, it looks like it has a red cross.
Okay.
Which is like some kind of a red pattern near the hem of the dress.
Yes. All right.
She looks maybe like she has braids in, but I can't tell if that's a braid or if it's just a lock of hair that's in the way.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start bringing in my team of angels. They're going to come in over the water on the left side. They come in rows and columns so I can vet them. I never, ever, ever want to send somebody off with a fallen angel, a shapeshifter, or anything like that. That's why I'm like, this is pretty, I've never done this like this before in public because of these constraints, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've been told I've got the go ahead, which is, I felt was awesome. So I'm bringing in these just huge teams of angels. They're standing in columns and rows, and I'm going to be looking at them, and feel free to look at them with me. And I'm just going to start pouring frankincense oil and salt on them. And what I'm looking for is anybody who may shapeshift, move in an odd manner, or disappear, or glitch. Okay.
I think I might have seen one glitch.
Yeah. Yep. That's a shapeshifter. He's trying hard to hold the form. Archangels come in and take him out. I feel like there might have been 2 of them, by the way. All right. I'm going to have them take him to the appropriate realm for processing. Again, we don't want to just let them go. Anybody who binds, buries, or casts away these things, they're just adding to the problem. Okay. I'm asking that a pair of angels, whoops, sorry, that was my thing hitting there. I'm asking that a pair of angels go to the little girl that is in that circle and let me know when you feel like they're there.
Okay.
All right. We're just going to ask her a couple of questions. All right. Let's just ask her, is she hungry? And I want you just to listen for the answer. I'm asking her, are you hungry?
She appears to be nodding her head yes.
Yeah. We're going to have the angels give her one of those delicious cupcakes. All right. They're going to put a blanket on her shoulders. I feel like she's cold. I'm asking her, are you cold?
She's nodding yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sweetheart. Are you surprised to be here?
She doesn't seem that surprised. It's a very shy answer.
Okay. All right. Do you know that you've died?
That was a no.
Okay. I agree with that, by the way.
She's not very verbal. She's like shaking her head yes or no.
Yeah, I think she's a little surprised. All right, I'm going to ask her this question. Do you feel safe? Right now, do you feel safe?
I'm getting like a very weak yes.
Yeah, it's a little too good to be true for her.
Mm-hmm.
Were dark things chasing you? Scary things chasing you?
That's a yeah.
Oh, honey.
Almost like she didn't want to answer that.
Yeah. I'm telling her right now that she is so brave, and I'm so grateful that she can help us. She's missing her mommy and daddy. Mostly her mommy. She's missing her mom. All right. These angels have her, and I'm just going to ask her, do you want to hold their hands?
It's a definite yes. She seems surprised by that question.
Yeah. All right. And as she's holding their hands, I want you to kind of look at her energy levels. And do you notice any shifting within her?
Yeah, her energy level seems very low in terms of being able to project.
Yeah. I'm kind of amazed she made it into the circle. We have magnetized it too to help them move in there. So she's a very low energy level. And the reason why I bring in the food and the blankets, the food is actually just prana or chi, but it's for the human mind construct. And it helps them to, as they're quote unquote eating this energy, it raises their vibrational frequency, because what we want to do is we want to get their soul energy strong enough to cross over into the higher realms without harming them or even just like causing them pain. I mean, in the beginning, I didn't know what I didn't know. Without raising their vibrational frequency, you can actually harm the soul. Mm-hmm. And so we're doing this for everybody that's there. And this applies to soul pieces and soul fragments as well. All right, sweetheart. Is there anything... Actually, let me ask her this question. Do you remember what the moment you died?
That was a very sheepish uh-huh.
Okay. Can you tell us? And you don't have to be scared.
I'm not sure if this is what I want to hear or if that's the actual answer, but it sounds like drowning.
Yeah. Let's just ask her, did you drown in the water? That was a big yes. Mm-hmm. All right. Was your family here for vacation?
I'm getting a no.
No, they lived here. I got the same thing. Okay. All right. I'm asking her, do you want to go back home to the heavens, to the higher realms? And I like to use kid words for the children. So she can meet Jesus, she can meet whomever her faith structure is. All right. Are you ready to go home?
Yeah, she's ready.
All right. We're going to have the angels take her to the appropriate realm of the heavens right now. And just let me know when you feel like she's gone.
Okay, she's gone.
Yeah.
That was quick.
That was quick. She
She couldn't get out of here fast enough.
there were dark beings chasing her. And as they're chasing her, they're feeding off of her soul energy. It's so cruel. Looking at the big circle again, do you see any more people coming in, or do you feel like it's slowed down a bit?
It's definitely slowed down in terms of the t-shirt shaped fragments and stuff, but I feel like there's something much bigger and darker, a mass of something that's lingering.
Oh, heck yeah. That's what we're going after next.
Yeah, do you see that? It's lingering somewhere towards the right of the circle.
Yep, absolutely. That's why I had the angels come in on the left. Yeah, we're going for the big boys next. Removing these souls first is the compassionate thing to do. The biggest crime of humanity is not teaching people what to do upon death. Getting them out of this form of a matrix is a big deal. All right, we're going to do one more thing before we go after this, and I think they know we're coming, by the way. I'm going to have the angelic realm start crossing over those in the circle. They can keep coming. That's fine. But between us, because there's that sand there, I'm creating an oval-shaped circle, a low-frequency gold, like the one for the humans that we just did, and animals too. I think there was some animal life in there. Is like a 24 karat gold, high frequency gold. Here we're going to do like a 12, 14 karat gold back here. It's like got a blue tinge to it even. Inside there, I'm putting in a vat of just pure protein broth. Okay. And let me know when you have that locked in your sights.
Okay, I
and
see
it's
it.
behind. Yeah, perfect. What I'm going to do right now, I'm telling anything that can hear this, and this may expand lengthwise on towards the left side. But what we're going to do is I'm telling anybody out there, there's free energy, free food, but you have to come right now. You do not have to give it to your bosses. This is yours to keep, but you have to go into the circle to get it right now. There is no punishment in here, but you have to come right now. If I have to come after you later, it will not be pleasant. But you need to come in right now.
I'm seeing a few coming very quickly.
Yeah. Do you get an idea of what they might look like or feel like?
They kind of look like, one of them especially looks like a very tall gentleman.
Okay.
Black hair, dark brown skin. I would say maybe he could have been a slave or something, because he kind of has on like a brown color pants.
Okay. Was he afraid to go in the big circle?
He seemed hesitant.
All right.
But he sure wants that broth or whatever.
All right. Oh, I get this. This is what he ate for food, was a broth. As a slave, you're not going to get very good food. I'm bringing in a pair of angels to take him to the other circle. Oh my gosh, that is a wild sense of confusion on his part.
Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on. And there's like two more with him that don't know what's going on either. They seem shocked.
Yeah, all right. You know what? We're going to let them stay in there for just a moment. We're going to give them cups. The angels are in there. They're going to give them cups, and they can have that protein broth. That's fine. They're very, very slender. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I think, you know what? I've seen him before.
Okay.
I've seen him in my yard before.
Wow.
I've seen him in my yard maybe 2 years ago.
All right. Let's ask him some questions. Do you know Jehan?
He said yes.
Okay. How do you know Jehan? Can you answer that?
He's saying that he likes to hang out between the houses.
Okay. Does Jehan have a warm, light energy around him?
He nodded, and I think he's trying to say more. I'm just not sure what he's trying to say.
Okay, let's see here. He knows he died. They know so I think they knew each other in life. I'm asking them, did the three of you die together in the same time? I'm getting a yes on that.
I'm getting a yes. I'm almost seeing like they're talking amongst each other now, like they're happy to be acknowledged.
Yeah, and I'm telling them, do you feel safe? You realize, oh, they came into this circle because I said, free food, you don't have to give it to your bosses. So if you're a slave, you have bosses. So this is interesting because I have not had humans come into this circle, but this makes so much sense.
Right. He seemed a little bit confused because when you asked him if he knows me, it's like he wanted to say that he also knows my dogs because my dogs have barked at him before too.
Okay. All right. Did you live on this land?
That's a hard yes, a quick yes.
Okay. All right. Did your master kill you?
That seems like a yeah to me.
I feel like it's a yes.
I'm also getting infirmary. That word's coming up.
So I'm seeing they were sick and weak and therefore expendable.
Yeah, because he looks frail.
So I'm seeing them as sick and weak, and the master would kill them. So if they were sick and weak, one, you don't want it to spread, and two, they can't do the work. Mm-hmm. Therefore, they're not worth, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. Why feed them and house them if they can't do the work?
I'm getting that he's been there for at least 2 centuries.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. All right, do you see the angels with you guys? There's 3 men, it looks like.
Mm-hmm, it's 3 men.
Okay. All right, we're going to bring in 6 angels, 3 pairs of angels. These angels are for you guys. We are so sorry that you've lived such a difficult life and then became earthbound in death. We're going to change this now. We're literally changing the soul trajectory of these 3 men. And I'm going to ask them, just listen, do you need anything else?
I'm getting a sense that they don't really want anything else except to go.
Yeah. All right. We're ready. We're just going to have the angels take them to the appropriate realm right now. And when I say that, it's always the higher realms. Very fascinating. That's where they thought they needed to go. Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to try this circle again. And we're looking for, I'm going to say, vermin of sorts, etheric parasites, lower realm entities, those little things that give energy to the vermin that your neighborhood is now experiencing. And so we're going to do it again. I'm going to have the angelic realms redirect any human slaves that may go into there, okay? We're going to stop that process and have them go to the bigger circle.
I think I just saw one that looked like an older woman, but she went right through.
Okay.
No question.
Yeah, that one with the table full of more elegant food is where every human needs to go. The fact that these three men, they're slaves, they're waiting to eat till after everyone else eats, right? They get the scraps, they get the broth. All right. And the reason why I ask about the clothing and such is that we can identify when a ghost lived and where they lived based on the clothing. Mm-hmm. Like you said, the little girl was like around the 1960s.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm always asking about the clothing or any identifiers. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Again, I'm telling anything that's in anything around your neighborhood that can hear this message, there's free protein broth, free energy, but you got to come in now. You get to keep it. You do not have to give it to your bosses, but you have to come right now. And this is where we might see like the gargoyle creatures, the lower realm entities, just a mishmash of that kind of stuff. These are the pawns on the chessboard. These guys, they'll extract our human energies. They can cause conflict in the homes. You have this weird argument with somebody, maybe a sibling or a spouse or whatever. You're like, why am I arguing about that? They're eliciting these responses out of us to extract our energies. Once they do that, they have to give it to their bosses and then they're left hungry again. If they fail, they get severely punished. All right. What do we see going into that circle? Anything at all?
The way you were talking, I think I saw a few things. I was going to say something that looked like an octopus almost.
Yeah, those are the types of critters that will go in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm going to have the angelic realms close up that big circle when they see fit. I'm going to create a very large containment field in the sky. It's over the water and over the sand. We can make it over your home because we have spiritual jurisdiction there. We don't have spiritual jurisdiction at your neighbor's house. But what I'm going to do is something I'm just going to start pulsing. It's something I just all I call it. I've got no explanation for it. And while I'm doing this, we're bringing in massive teams of essentially like a spiritual police force. And we're going to start pulling up the negative entities. And I already can tell you which kind are here.
Holy hell, I can see something.
Yeah, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing something that looks like a man beast, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Ugly looking creature. He doesn't want to go anywhere.
No, we're going to just...
He's hanging on.
Yeah. I'm literally pounding a staff in the ground to shake it up. And I'm creating a negative spinning vortex to go up into that containment field right now. And I'm just going to do a few things in my mind's eye to get them all in there. So just give me a moment here. All right. Do you feel like he's going into that containment field in the sky, or is he still down there?
He's going.
Yeah.
He's kind of let go.
Yeah. Do you get an idea of like how tall he might have been?
I want to say about 7 feet, honestly.
Yeah, that's about right. Did you get Were you able to see his eyes?
Like almost like a type of shadow creature, almost like if you drawn his face on a piece of paper with a pen and just used scribbles.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Hooded being, it looked like me.
Yeah, there's some more of these coming in. We're going to really focus in on healing the land. And as we're healing the land, they cannot stand the vibrational frequency and they're going to get pulled up even more.
Yeah, the frequency's gone up. I can feel it. And my bird's here jumping around. I can tell he.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, one of my birds is jumping around. He just jumped off his perch.
Okay. All right.
I guess because a lot of my psychic senses are auditory, I can almost hear the frequency going up an octave.
Excellent.
Like a high whistle.
Excellent. Yeah, it's going to keep going up. What we're doing is we are basically shaking everything up so they cannot hang on. And then they just get sucked up. And that land that's literally created, I can't believe they did that, is going to get cleaned out also. Earlier, I did see a lot of Chinese people. I feel like it was older Chinese. Like, I don't know if Chinese.
I know what you mean. I'm not sure if they were Chinese or if they were Arawak. They looked like.
Okay. All right. Okay. There's a lot of that going on into that main circle in the beginning.
Yeah. Like you could tell by their clothing that they weren't really.
Yeah.
Well off, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
Just
all
like
right.
stuff was pieced together.
Yes. And hence the fragmented t-shirt concept, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Looking out right. Let's go from left to right. Where would you most not want to go?
Where would I most not want to go on that beach?
Yep.
Definitely to the right.
Okay. I still feel really heavy energy down there.
Yeah. In your mind's eye, can you see like there's a yellow wall next to the construction site?
Yeah, there's something going on there.
Yeah, there's some heavy energy that's lingering right there.
That developer may also have a heavy energy about him.
He does. He's not like he has a very mousy body language.
Unassuming, right?
But there's something dark about him when you look at him in his face. You can tell it.
Yeah. We're just going to start cleaning this up. Do you get an idea of what might be puppeting him? What kind of species or being or spiritual team?
If I had to guess, I would say something almost reptilian in nature.
There's a heavy reptilian presence here. In fact, I'm looking under the sand and I'm seeing a reptilian egg nest there where we're moving. It's their breeding ground.
Really?
It's on the right side. It gets really dark down there to me. And I'm seeing these like sand dune kinds of things, even though there's no sand dunes there, right?
Right.
This is in the ether. We're just going to start pulling them up.
So all right. Started pulling that up. The frequency went up real quick.
Yeah, there's a lot. I'm also willing to bet that there's an underground reptilian civilization down there.
I would not doubt it.
We can take our tetrahedron that we are in. We're not leaving it. And I want to go below the ground, below the sand.
Okay.
I'm making certain requests that were camouflaged along the way. Okay.
Okay.
And I want us to go to the outer edge of this reptilian city. And let me know when you feel like you can pick some stuff up and sense some things.
Yeah, I'm sort of sensing some movement.
Yeah, me too.
Cavernous is the word that I would use.
Yes. Okay. I'm just going to ask you this question and let me know if this rings true for you or not. Okay.
Okay.
Do you think there's big canisters in those caverns?
Canisters?
Big cans of like house-sized cans of, that's the best word I have for it.
I'm seeing like containers.
Okay.
Maybe not like a house, but like containers. I'm not sure.
They are containers, but they're very large.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'm also getting that they've been here since the island was underwater. So
Yeah.
they've been here for centuries.
Yes, they have. I'm going to start having the light side take these canisters and they're going to put them in that main circle, that first circle. Okay. I'm looking to see if they have any replication technologies.
They do, it seems.
Yeah, they do. I want to go slow. Looks like there's 3 replication centers. I want to look for the technology center also. I'm seeing I'm going to start having the teams come down and dismantle the technology centers. This goes down deep also.
I see that. It's going all under my house. It's going all under, like way back, almost to where there would be like the highway.
This is huge. I didn't know this existed in this part of the world.
I'm trying to look as far as I can, and I can see like remnants underground of where the swamp used to be. I don't know if you're getting a sense of that. And they're under
okay. I'm getting a sense of murky water. That would be a swamp.
Yeah. Yeah, this entire area was plantation at one point, but it was also a swamp.
Yeah. Wow. We're going to have to start cleaning this out. It goes really deep. I'm bringing in the light beings to start cleaning this up. Because you and I don't have them all day. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
They're dismantling the technology centers first. And they're going to start disabling everything. And then we're going to run, when they're done, a specialized liquid crystal throughout that. We're going to collapse. There's pocket dimensions down here too, by the way. So a pocket dimension is a dimension inside of a dimension. So right now we're looking in the 4th dimension, this lower astral plane that's underneath the physical. And there's a lot of bleed through with the fourth dimension and our third dimensional planes. Mm-hmm. And this is why we see ghosts. This is why we have these unseen energetic things happening to us. On the opposite side, we have the light side, the fifth dimension and above, which can impact us too, but they do it through spiritual law, through specific parameters where the dark side doesn't care. This is basically a giant reptilian nest. I'm being told they're going to finish cleaning this up. This was needed. It could not have happened until this building went down.
Yeah, I always used to say that the building there was infected in a way.
That's the epicenter. Sinister. It's the epicenter. So until this building went down, what it did was it opened up an excuse to see what's really happening deep under the ground. Mm-hmm. Looking at that containment field in the sky, do we want to quiz any of them or just send them off?
Just because we're on a podcast, let's talk to them.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go back to the surface. I'm making the request that to my biggest, baddest ass archangels, remove one of them and place them before us. Okay. So we're still in our space. We're going to create a small golden ring, which is another form of a containment field, so he cannot escape. I said he, didn't mean to give that one away. Let me know when you see or sense this being.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
All right. Describe what you're seeing.
I don't want to call him names, but he's pretty ugly.
Yeah.
He looks mean. Almost like scaly in a way. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Does it have a long tail or a short tail?
I am seeing shorter tail. I guess the way I'm seeing him, though, I'm not really seeing fully what's to the back. It's almost like he's looking at me.
Yeah, you would notice if he had a long tail.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're short, sometimes they're long. Do you get an idea of his skin color?
Like a pale, murky color. I wouldn't say it's particularly like a green or anything like that. I'm gonna say gray, green, brown. It seems to be kind of milky too. Milky, like it's a weird color. It's a really weird color.
Yeah. And
it's
you
like
said
a gecko almost.
Right. Yeah. And you said scaly. Uh-huh. Do you get an idea of how tall he is?
Oh, he's pretty tall. He has to be over 8 feet.
Okay. They can be 12. They can be 12 to 15 feet tall as well.
Okay. Yeah. He's big.
All right. Now, looking at his eyes, what color are his eyes?
Right now, his eyes look dark to me.
Okay.
Like there's no... He's got what?
He's got them closed. He's like, they have two sets of eyes. Or like, they can go dark-eyed, black-eyed, and they can like have red eyes or yellow eyes and like slits in their pupils. Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right. So he's smarter than the average of them. Do you see any clothing on him, or is he appearing in his natural form?
No clothing.
Okay, I don't see any clothing either. All right. We got questions. Are you surprised I'm asking him right now, if he lies, tells the mistruth, partial truth, omits the truth, there will be consequences. Do you understand?
He's not happy about that.
If you do not comply, I'm going to put you back in with your bosses and say thank you for your help. Do you understand that?
Yeah, he's not happy about that.
If you do comply, there are some karmic elements that will be afforded to you.
He still seems pissed.
Yeah. Did you know I was coming?
He seems surprised. He seems caught off guard.
Do you remember? This is how the light side works. We talked about doing a show a couple months ago. And then you're like, what were we going to talk about again? They had you, the light side had you forget so we could zoom in on this and catch them by surprise. If they would have known we were coming, it would have been a different story. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
All right. Now, how long have you ruled this land?
I'm not getting a specific answer from him.
I'm not either. He may not know that, in all fairness. Do you remember Atlantis?
I feel like that was a yeah.
Yeah, a big yeah on that one. He didn't say it, but his body language said it.
Yeah. He doesn't like the fact that we're asking questions.
No, this is they're used to being in charge. I'm going to ask him, do you like humanity?
No.
Are humans more like servants to you?
That's a yeah.
What is in those canisters? Let me rephrase that. Do you know what are in those canisters?
Why am I getting the answer like food?
It is food. What is the food? Do these canisters, he's not answering.
Mm-mm.
Do these canisters originate from the Lyran Wars?
It sounds like a no to me.
Yeah, I got a no on that. Okay. Are there angels in these canisters?
It seems like he's saying maybe. I'm going to say that's a yeah.
Doesn't want to answer that one.
No.
Are there humans in these canisters?
That's a yeah.
We're going to have the angelic realms break open those canisters and release them. They won't go outside of the circle because this is a healing circle. Remember in the beginning when I said that they use us as food?
Mm-hmm.
This is why it's so important for every ghost to cross over, even the Jeffrey Epsteins of the world, because they utilize this energy to feed themselves. It's not just humans, but it can be light beings also that they've captured in various wars. These canisters look newer than some of them I've seen. That's why I was asking about the Lyran Wars. I'm asking him, what else can you tell us about these canisters?
He doesn't really want to say.
Yeah, he may not know. He's more of a entry level being, a grunt worker, so to speak. He's the muscle. He's not necessarily the brain. And I'm going to ask him, are his species starting to disappear off the earth?
I feel like that was a non-answer, but also a yes.
Yeah, that would admit defeat, right?
He's not cooperative at all.
No, he's not. I'm going to sprinkle some dragon's blood resin on him. It's not a pun intended, but it's a high frequency tree resin.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, it's what the Catholic Church uses to remove the dark entities from the church before the people come in. Mm-hmm. Those smokers, those thuribles.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to ask ourselves, why do the churches need to be cleaned?
Yeah.
All right. I'm asking him or telling him we need some answers. Your bosses cannot hear these conversations. Do you understand that? He doesn't believe that.
Yeah. He's skeptical.
All right. What makes access to humanity easy?
It's almost like he's saying it's easy.
I heard, I literally heard they're weak. All right. If we're so weak, how did you get trapped? Oh, that pissed him off. What makes access to humanity difficult? There's only a few they feel are hard to get to. Most of them are easy prey.
He has an energy of superiority about him, the way he answered that.
Absolutely. Are you responsible, your species, are you responsible for voice to skull technology?
Yeah.
Have you been tweaking the voice to skull technology lately to make it stronger?
Yeah, he's proud of that one.
What makes it hard for you to implement voice to skull technology on certain humans?
I'm getting like he's saying the light.
Yeah.
Light.
Their light, their hearts, and a strong mind. This is why building a healthy soul is so important. And Jehan, it's why your work is so important.
I'll tell you something as well that's interesting about that. When I'm home here in this house, nothing of the sort affects me, but I've stayed at other villas, at like the one right next to on the other side of the construction site with the yellow wall. Mm-hmm. And trying to get to sleep at night is terrible because of the voice to skull technology. You hear like somebody's trying to talk to you in your head. Yeah.
It's a synthetic telepathy.
Mm-hmm.
Many people have telepathic abilities. For example, you're thinking of somebody and they call you on the phone, right? Mm-hmm. That's a form of telepathy. So voice to skull technology is a synthetic technology that they have created. I've been working with the Greys and I'm going to call them Anunnakis and the Sumerians, ancient Sumerians. And the idea is they create a distortion and also they're working with certain high-level governmental agencies with the humans. The humans will implement this. And they're testing technologies, which is really, there's a special place for those.
And that's what it sounds like when you receive those signals. It sounds like somebody's talking through like a distortion pedal for like a guitar or something into.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so what we need to do is we need to say, this is not mine. This is not my thought. Bring in your team of angels, bring in your higher realm guides, and just literally obliterate it. For those that are not familiar with voice to skull technology, it's trying to override our thought processes, our patterns. It's trying to put thoughts in our heads that are not ours. They use distortion to create a very uncomfortable frequency within the body. And it starts to break down that soul energy, the body energy, all the energetic bodies. It breaks down that so that they have greater access to us. And so the voice to skull technology, I've never discussed this before, by the way. So our crown chakra, soul star chakra is the top of our head. It actually embeds like close when it embeds and you're hearing it, but it has not embedded within you because you would know that. It's like right behind the crown chakra on the base of the head. And then it has these long, I'm going to call them like arms or tentacles with these little suction cup things that go into the cerebral cortex. And the cerebral cortex operates many things for the brain. Let's put it that way. It's vital. And so they're trying to control humanity this way. Mm-hmm. So we can break out of that matrix. If we feel that we are dealing with voice to skull technology, sometimes we need help from a practitioner, but make sure you know that practitioner is worth their weight in gold and platinum combined, okay? Mm-hmm. You don't want anybody weak. You don't want anybody compromised. You don't want anybody, if they have a serious health problem, if your practitioner has an addiction problem, you just need to run. Mm-hmm. Your soul health is worth it. So with the voice to skull technology, they're trying to create a quantum field by combining their particles with brain matter particles, a form of a quantum entanglement, so to speak. And so we can break that with certain visualizations, especially if the technology is not embedded deeply. A 22% salt solution, visualize yourself pouring over yourself. You can do certain detox physical baths to help support that and just submerge yourself in the salts. This is a really big deal. I keep seeing more and more of it lately. Mm-hmm. The reptilians and the grays and these other beings are working together. I call it the unholy trinity, to create this because humanity is starting to break out of their grasp. So now they have to work together. And I'm looking at our friend in this containment field and I'm like, isn't that right?
He's amazed that you know all this.
Yeah. I like targets on my head, and let me tell you, I'm kidding.
He doesn't like it.
Yeah. And the time is now to come out with it. I've been sitting on this for 1.5 years or 2 years now. I've never said a word about it. And I keep getting more and more clients that are afflicted by this. It's really, it's cruel on a good day. Mm. And so we're just going to blow the doors open with this. I actually asked my team in the middle of the show, can I talk about this? And they said, yes, the time is now. All right. I'm asking him. Do you know who I am?
I think he does.
I'm getting like, I'm not saying a word. I was just curious.
He's kind of like looking around like he doesn't want to answer that question.
Do your species still have schools teaching them about me? The answer is yes or no.
He doesn't really want to answer any of these questions.
No, he's a jerk. By not answering, that's the answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious. I got nothing else for him unless you do.
No, let's just get rid of him.
All right. We're going to have the angelic realms. These are actually higher, different species of realms that are going to be removing everything that's here. The big containment field, the circle, this oval shaped thing. I'm having them take everything to the appropriate realms of the higher realms for processing right now. And then what we're going to do is you and I are going to create a violet flame that goes from the deepest depths all the way through the heavens. And then we're going to bring down a rain of salt. So the violet flame will transmute the energies, and the salt is going to clean and clear it. So we're cleaning all the lands that we have spiritual jurisdiction for. Okay. And this will just take a moment. And this practice, anybody can do in their own home as well. Bringing up a violet flame to clean, clear, and transmute any negative energies, stagnant energies, and then bring down a rain of salt. And what it'll do is it'll clear it all up. And because of the transmutation process, you're not littering the ether this way either. And for those that are just kind of learning and practicing, you can just visualize yourself pouring down, just a rain of salt on this pen, for example. Just imagine, hold this pen, feel it, touch it, and just visualize salt going over that pen. It's cleaning and clearing the pen. As you become stronger, growing your spiritual muscle, you can start to clean and clear your home, your rooms, etc. And as you clean and clear your homes, don't forget about the electrical, the water lines, between the walls, all of that. It's a really good, easy spiritual practice we can all develop, and it's free. That's the best part. All right. I want to thank all of the light beings that helped us today. We're sending them our love and blessings and gratitude for the experiences and the help they've afforded us today. And with that, we are closing everything up right now. Never leave a doorway open. Okay. And I know it's dark where you're at, but I want you to kind of look around and feel the energies around you. Do you notice any differences?
Oh, yeah. There's a huge difference. I mean, monumental. It's very light.
Excellent.
The air of itself is very light as I'm breathing in.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing what it can do?
It's almost like somebody put on 10 air purifiers.
Isn't that, it's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
This helps wildlife. It helps humans. It helps the planet Earth. All right. Yeah, this was a really good clearing.
Okay.
It's going to be extremely helpful. The hardest part is dealing with the humans. Okay. So I deal with dead people and reptilians and all kinds of nasty stuff all day long. Dealing with the humans is the hardest part. Yeah. Because you can't cross them over. So the developer who's rather nefarious, he's a problem still.
Yeah, he's going to be a problem. I can tell.
We can return his energy. So, and this is, there's many types of hauntings. The dead that haunt the living that can haunt the dead. When the living people haunt the dead people, it's more often like the loss of a child. The grief is so great, they're not letting their child cross over. Not to be mean, they're just sad, grief-stricken. The dead can haunt the dead. Think about war victims, right? They missed the memo. They shot each other and they keep shooting each other. The dark entities can haunt the living. The dark entities can haunt the dead. But the living haunting the living is the hardest one to deal with, which is so ironic because we're supposed to be helping each other.